Welcome to Relationship Bites with Wendy Ologe podcast. Relationship Bite is a platform for everything relationship. Mother-child relationship, father-daughter, siblings, sister-in-laws, parents-in-laws, everything you need to know about relationship. It is said that one of the most important needs of human is belonging. It simply means that relationship is as important as being human. I will be taking you on a journey of everything relationship. Join me, Wendy Ologe, every fortnight as we extract the intricacies of different forms of relationship. The positives, the negatives, the wins, the losses, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything else in between. And most importantly, the lessons we will learn from them. Relationship Bite with Wendy Ologe is your plug for real life experiences on diverse relationships and how we can maximize these relationships for the best. All right, good morning, everybody. And yes, we are live again at my intentional parenting journey, where parents are sharing their journey themselves. So this is no longer me sharing this journey with you and telling you, oh, this parent did this, oh, this happened to this parent. No, these parents are coming on their own to share their journey. And today we have Dr. Nse. Dr. Nse's journey is amazing. When she sent me her review, I was like, oh, mom, this woman came ready for me. She was reviewing the things that I said, but I didn't say. You know, that kind of student that follows you in such a way, you're like, when did I say this now? When did you hear me talk about this book? She said, Ma, I was listening to you. Even the book, that you didn't even recommend I was reading. It was, her reviews were so detailed. Her journey has been so amazing. She has had too many things to share. And she has agreed to come and share with us herself her intentional parenting journey right in the inner circle. The interesting thing is that most of these parents are not in Nigeria. Dr. Nse is in Canada. It's midnight her time. In fact, I just, tuned in and I said, you're looking like you just woke up from sleep and just make up and sat down. I really want to say thank you, ma'am, for the honor to be here. We really do appreciate you. My team and I was so grateful that you agreed to do this. I know how it can be with the time difference. And Dr. Nse will be in all the classes. I don't even know how. Anyway, we're going to get her to share how today. She's here with us. Welcome, ma'am, and thank you for doing this.
Thank you so much. It's a great honor to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. So tell us a bit, how did you get to know about the Intentional Parent Academy? How did you get into the inner circle? Share your journey with us, ma'am.
Okay, so precisely about October last year, 2021, my third child was 12, about to be 13 in November. And from nowhere, this guy just changed.
Wow.
It was like, he was confrontational, he was argumentative, he wasn't scared of anybody, he wanted to do it his own way. So one day he went to church and his older brother brought him back. He bought a drink from Tim Hortons, something hot, like hot chocolates, and he put it in the fridge. So I said, don't put something hot in the fridge. And he just flared up. I want to do it my own way. I want you to leave me to do. I was like, this is trouble. So I was like, because, he had been doing so many things. And from when he was born, I knew he was different. I had two before him. He was different. When I moved from Nigeria to the UK, I observed the difference, how kids are raised. So I tried to learn. But today, I realized they were all tips and hacks. So I tried to learn. I read books. I remember I read Dare to Discipline. I tried to implement things, and I was alone with the children. My husband was in Nigeria. So I was alone. in the UK for like 6 years. It
Oh,
was
wow.
tough. So as time went on, I knew that I needed help. I needed extra knowledge to raise this child, because sometimes you feel like just beating the child. But I mean, I knew I needed knowledge. And as an African Christian, I started praying and praying and praying. One day I was, quiet and thinking, and I just went to Facebook and I saw a post that somebody reposted. You shared something and somebody reposted it. You know how you see something and it grabs your attention? I read that thing over and over and over. I took a snapshot of it. And then I went to Facebook and looked for Wendy Ologe. I said, who is this person? And I began to see some of your posts. That whole week, Wendy Ologe was just ringing in my head. I said, okay. And then one day, I can't remember where, I now saw the Inner Circle TIP Academy. I read it. I said, 50,000. Seriously? What is 50,000 going to deliver? I had it on my WhatsApp. I thought about it over and over. But each time I didn't want to register, a still small voice said, just try it. And you can lose 50,000. So I made up my mind. I registered. I paid 5,000. I said, no, I just paid the whole thing. I said, let me see what this thing is about. Man, I was in for a shocker. I attended the induction, and what I noticed was, one, your passion. Two, you were not joking. I said, okay, let's go. By this time, most of my kids were well into their teens. So when the program started, initially I felt like I'm late. But I said, no, I don't give up easily. I said, if this thing applies to a toddler, it will apply to my first child was 17. I said, it will apply to a 17-year-old. So I didn't joke. I have on my system, I have folders for every month. TIP January, TIP February, all the resources, I have them. Sometimes I can't attend live sessions. I have a schedule, I have a time for TIP to parent myself. If you see the notes I have about you, I have like a collection. I'm keeping it for my children. I have notes, all, like if you read the notes I have about you, it's almost word for word, except where maybe you laughed, I didn't write, she laughed. I have them. I printed them. I will sit down, read them, read in between the lines, look for what applies to me. And then my children knew. This last 1 year, they were like, Mom, something has changed. My youngest child, when she sees you, she'll say, that is your principal. I said, yes, she's my principal. But she's younger than you. I said, yes, she's younger than me, but she's my principal. So I have those notes. I sit down and look at them, and I make sure that I implement them. I created, like, on Sundays, nobody goes after church. Everybody comes home, because sometimes during the week it's difficult to catch everybody. So Sunday is family day. Everybody, we sit down. The connection tools we could not complete, we complete them. My family now is so bonded, so in tune. I mean, no, TIP is the expectation. I can't explain. TIP is the expectation. The first course I took, maybe not the first, but I got to hear about the strong-willed child for this, my son. After I took that course, I didn't implement everything. I implemented, I think, 3 things. 1, I gave him options. 2, I allowed him, like, okay, you have to clean your bathroom at 1. I said, okay, when do you want to clean it? And he says 1:15. In my mind, I'm like, what's the difference between 1 and 1:15? I said, okay, clean it at 1:15. He goes to a friend's school, so I have to take him to a bus stop for him to join the bus. I thought I was doing this child good. When we got talking, he said, Mom, I feel caged. He wants to go on his own. Coach Wendy, do you know that I implemented that options, giving him options? I allowed him some independence. Then I replaced, when I did the brain study, You know, when you did that brain, you know, talked about the brain.
Yes.
I didn't even do slowly. Me, I packed up the game, packed it up completely, put it in my room. No game. Okay, what do you want to do? He said basketball. I registered him for basketball. I bought like the mobile basketball, put it in the bag. I gave him more opportunities for activities.
Mm.
You know that he just turned, in fact, Tuesday, yesterday, which is was 8th November. He just turned 14. You cannot recognize this 14-year-old and that 13-year-old. He
Wow.
has completely, as I was coming now, because it was his birthday, he was up a bit late. He was like, Mom, I can't sleep. Come and make me sleep. This is somebody that before, don't come into my room. And do you know that this
Wow.
term, he got the highest, the best result ever?
Hmm.
He has completely changed. This was a child that before you say ha, he has responded. But now in self-control, in fact, I say your, you know, the way you teach, I tell my friends that I can almost touch it. I can feel it. It's tangible. I can feel it. That particular child, he brought me to TIP because that boy gave me sleepless nights. He gave me headache. He made me think. My husband and I will sit down. But with this, you know, the things I've learned from TIP, I'm not even afraid anymore. Let him bring it on any way he wants it. I have the answer. You know, according to you, nobody died.
No,
Can't.
nobody.
There was a day he made me so he upsets me, but now I know how to be calm. And he came
Hmm.
and said to me, Mom, are you angry? I said yes. And he left. Then he came and he said the angry person needs a hug. Mom, you need a hug. I just started and we sat down and we resolved it. So I mean, it has been a beautiful that I've actually enjoyed parenting. I don't know how to explain it. I've
Hmm.
actually enjoyed parenting.
This is just amazing. You know, when Dr. Nse was speaking, I could so for your information, the people that have given me names in the yard, Dr. Nse is the one that gave me liquid wisdom. Hey God. So these are one of the people that have given me names. And then many others have carried that name. I say, liquid wisdom. I say, where do you people get these names from?
It is true. Ah, it's true. You know how that name came about? You know
Hmm.
when you go out and you are hot and then you come in and you take water.
Hmm.
Okay, and that was what your teachings did for me.
Wow.
That is what your teachings did for me. You know, when you say do it afraid, I tell my children, let's do it afraid. And
Hmm.
we do it, and according to you, nobody died. Nothing
Nobody.
happens. No, it's just been awesome. My son is, I mean,
Wow.
he's the
Wow.
one now telling me, the angry person
Needs a
needs a
hug.
hug, and
Just
he comes to me.
imagine. So we are live with Dr. Nse. Dr. Nse is streaming live all the way from Canada. Dr. Nse is one of the parents in the inner circle, and she's sharing her journey, her intentional parenting journey of how the transformation happened in her journey. I remember that when I was speaking with her, in fact, her reviews were so, when she said tangible, they were so tangible. You could literally feel what she's sharing with you. It wasn't, she's not sharing something you can't feel. She's sharing something you can see. You can, she's been able to take these lessons. I told her that she literally took these lessons and owned it, as in owned it like they belonged to her. And when I met her, and she was sharing with me, and she was saying, this is how far I've gone. And I said, how did you get into this whole thing with so much tenacity? And she said to me, I was in the emergency room. Doctor said, tell us why why you had to run the way you ran.
Because when I came in, you were teaching about toddlers, and I don't have a toddler. My children are grown, and I'm like, wow, how am I going to do this? My eldest is like 18 now. He's in second year. I needed to take those lessons and create a system that would work for me. So I took those lessons. I looked at where I am at this point in time. How do I apply them? So with the ages of the children, I mean, I was like, I don't have much time. By the time you talked about the launch plan and all that, I knew that I could not afford to miss 1 second of parenting. So I took each lesson, picked out what I needed to apply. I created a system that would work. Each class, I remember the TIP conference. If I tell you I didn't miss one, I didn't miss one. I had, if you see my notes, Coach Wendy, you'll be amazed. I'm going to create like a book for my children. You know, when you talk about legacies, I'm going to create, I have them in months, everything, be it webinars, masterclass, I haven't missed one. I was a woman on a mission because I'm like, wow, where has Coach Wendy been? So for like people that have toddlers, they don't know how blessed
they are.
I was in a war, you know, when you're fighting a war. Because when you're teaching, like my youngest just turned 11 in October. Coach Wendy, she cooks. She can make soup, make coconut rice. She can make fried plantain. She is a small madam on her own. Like in the morning, if you come to my house, everybody's doing their thing, pack their lunch, everybody is doing their thing. I even have more time in the morning to pray.
Yes, so
she learns, you know, faster, and she's willing.
Of course.
Even this, my young man that brought me to you, he is the one who taught me knife works. I've never done knife works. He goes there, when he wants to cook, he has a special knife to cut his steak. So these things are real. I was like, I said, come, we're fighting a war, so I have to arm myself with every tool necessary. So I was, Coach Wendy, I was implementing. There are days I would sleep like this and wake up, and my husband is like, this one passed when you were doing PhD. I said, my brother, leave. When you are faced with a war, like you always say that you don't fight in the war, you have to prepare before you get to the war. So I was like preparing and making sure the things that you say, I don't take any single one for granted, because when I think about it, these are divine things. You know, like when Pastor Wisdom said some things are taught. These things, you taught them. When you say search the internet, my job is researching. I went to search, it's not there. It's not there. You know, like when I'm speaking to my friends, they are like, but these kids have grown. I say, it's never too late. It's never too late. I can do all things through Christ. Sometimes when you do something, I say, Father, Lord, you have to show me how to do it. Because I cannot, you know, like when you say your children should be proud of you. I say, really? Okay, then I have to be an advantage to my children. Not only them, I shouldn't be only proud of them, they should be proud of me. They should be happy that I parented them. So the things you say, I don't play with any of them. I implement them and they have worked. You know, sometimes when you say, if you come to tip and you don't get anything, come and take back your money. I say, me, I'll follow and give people back their money. They should come. I'll give them back their money. There's no way. There's no way.
Dr. Nse's journey is such an amazing journey. I'm you know, listening to her, and you know, I'm gleaning so much insight from her journey. Yeah.
I attended the couples conclave. I attended when I sent a text to the governor, I said, my husband will not attend, but he will attend through me. So when we had assignments, I will go to him. I didn't tell him it was an assignment. I'm like, let's gist. And from gisting, he will do his assignment without knowing.
Whoa.
And I will submit the assignments, and we completed the course. When I read the husband manual, and I sent a text to the governor. I said, I disagree. I was so upset when I read that husband manual. He said, calm down, you're not the only one, right? Like this. I said, what do you mean?
Even me, I fought.
I said, what do you mean? But when I read it a second time and a third time, I said, Governor, you know what you're talking about. You know what you're talking about. I think Coach Wendy is off. I said, you know what you're talking about. And when I, spoke with my husband about some of these things, he confirmed them. He confirmed them that these things are real. That is how it is. I think Coach Wendy is off. Let's see. Okay, she's back. Nice. Yeah.
So sorry.
No, it's fine.
Off a bit. Okay, yes. And Dr. Nse was sharing about her marriage and the things, she did. You will be the eighth parent on this series, and you're the eighth person who is still sharing that you had to go back for your marriage while you're working as a parent. Why is that?
If you're married, if I didn't have, how would I put it? Not as if there was a problem or anything, but I just felt that there was still more to learn, because you can't say I've finished learning. I felt there was still more to learn. I've been married for 22 years. And for the first time, when we got married, my husband always said to me that 2 people can be married and they don't have to quarrel. And I was like, really? So we must quarrel now. In the last 11 months, we have disagreed, but nobody has heard our voice. Nobody is, my husband came to me and said, this thing that you are learning, I want to learn it. Teach me. Because after you talked about with the husband in training manual, I started my own. I'm writing husband in training, I'm writing wife in training. So maybe we go somewhere and my daughters will sit down and wait for the men to open the car door. I said, yes, open the door for them. So at the time, the men started protesting that, how about what are the women going to do for us? So I had to start writing the wife in training manual. And my husband said to me, he said, finally, I have what I always wanted in marriage. He said, you are now my friend. That night, I didn't sleep. I was crying. He held me and he said, the day I will see this Coach Wendy. It was, 22 years for the first time. Peace. I don't even get riled up. No matter what happens, I know that with knowledge, I can handle this thing. I'm not in a hurry. I will just tell myself, nobody's going to die. You can handle it tomorrow or the day after. That feeling after I attended the emotional intelligence.
Yes.
Oh, Father. It was as if, you see, this TIP has affected every single piece of me. In my office now, people have issues with their children. They say, go and meet the parents coach.
Yes, so
in my office. They say, go and meet the parent coach. And I give them some things, I give them an advice or something, and they come back and they're like, it worked. I said, yes, I'm learning from somewhere. Join, but some people are, skeptical. I'm like, we have left you, we're going. You better come along. Because for me, it works. It has worked. My children are, when you thought about the sibling mentorship
program,
I implemented it. If you see the bonding, I put them in a room, I give them a topic, I say they scream, before you know, they come together. Is it travel skills? As soon as you thought it, we traveled. I say, oh, yeah, you should come up. And like my son that introduced me to TIP, he's traveling to Quebec. They are going alone. I know that he can do it. I'm not worried. Some parents are like, how? And I'm like, he can do it. I'm not worried at all because he can do it. I'm you know. So it's been every my personality has changed. I am calm. I'm not worried. You know how you are afraid, oh, these children are going to kill me. No child is killing me.
No,
We are going
none.
to work it out. We are going to
No.
work it out.
Amazing journey. I am live with Dr. Nse all the way from Canada, sharing with us how she's been able to raise amazing children while even living in diaspora. What tools she's been able to gather from the inner circle and how she has been able to translate them to own them. You know, many times when we talk about the inner circle, a lot of parents will say, but my children are older. Like Dr. Nse said, yes, your children are older, but you can do it. It's doable, you know. And, you know, we're talking about people who have younger children. Sometimes I'm wondering why people who have younger children are arguing. Sometimes I'm really feeling for them because when they now get to the point where they need to do this work, it's like fire brigade. It's like war. It's not easy. It's
It's
doable,
not,
but it's easy.
it's not easy. I was fighting.
He's here sharing it. Dr. Nse, just tell us a bit of the not easy part so that maybe they won't.
You know, like here, they say when your child is 18, the child is an adult, so they can take decisions for themselves and all that. I had to sit my son down, apologize to him for not teaching him the things I ought to have taught him. I told him I didn't know. If I know better, I will do better. And so I began to, we started, you see, the executive function skills. We began to, from the beginning, we started. If we have a connection tool of drawing, my 18-year-old draws with me. We do all, whatever. Sometimes maybe because he's busy, he's not around, I get him. Like when I was coming here, he's still awake. He said, Mom, where are you going to? I said, oh, I have a talk with my principal. And he was like, oh, when the children are older, because they have already formed they've already formed certain personalities, it now becomes more difficult, okay, to like teach them some things. So you need more patience. There were days I went into my room and cried. There were days I went into my room and cried. But as I'm crying, I'm saying, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And then I come out. If I bring up strategy A, it doesn't work. I bring B. Before I get to strategy Z, one must work. So teaching them again from the beginning was not easy. It was tough. I was in a war zone. But one thing, my husband is not in inner circle, but he supported me. He was like, you see, parenting, I leave it to you. Anyhow you say we should do it, that's how we'll do it. So he supported me, and he, I will teach him the things I have learned, and we will implement it. Like my son, the third one that, introduced me to TIP. That child can ask me 50 questions. Why? Why should we do it this way? So what are we hoping to? And I'm patient enough, I will answer. If I don't know, I tell him I don't know. But I'm going to find out. I had to make myself vulnerable. Yes. When I'm tired, I say I'm tired. Sometimes when you taught parenting the heart of the child, one day I went into his room because like initially I used to go into my girls. I made them share a room because I wanted them to bond. So I'll go to their room, lie down, and I'll, listen to them talk. I didn't know my son was watching. Somehow I wasn't doing that with him. One day I was coming out of their room and he was like, Mom, you don't ever come to my room. I was like, wow. So I'll go into his room, lie down on his bed, and we'll be talking. And, one day he said to me, he said, Mom, now I know that you love me. Aww. And I said to him, I said, this thing you're doing, I've tried A, I've tried B, I don't know what to do anymore. And he says, Mom, don't worry, I'm going to change. And he would these children, and he changed. He stopped doing what he was doing. So the different strategies, they come in handy at different times. You just need to know when to parent the heart of a child, when to discipline the child, when to, the first time, I think it was in February, my son was very naughty. And so my husband said he was going to walk to his bus. It was snowing, -30. As a mother, I know that day I cried. That's why it's good to have the father, because they are stronger than us. Like you said, the fathers are there to bring in structure. We are to nurture.
Yes, sir.
I cried that day. My husband said, lie, Coach Wendy. Oh, that boy, he went through the consequence. And when I saw the result of the consequence, my heart, became firmer. So now, you go through your consequence. I'm not bailing you out. You go through the consequence. So is it bailing out? Don't bail out. I don't even know which one to talk about. Then when you take honor as a skill, I can't remember the last time I said to my child, you are not obeying me. There's nothing like that again. We are doing honor. And that honor as a skill is from heaven. In fact, you cut it. Honor as a skill, you cut it. It has been a game changer. Even for me, I treat my friends differently. And they are also treating me differently. So you're getting what you are giving. Is it when we talked about friendships and I taught my children about friendships? Do you know that there was a time 2 of my children, they came to me and they were like, we have to let go of this friendship because of A, B, C. And I was just hearing the things you were saying. And I was, wow. So it has not been easy, but I am ready to go through it, to continue because I can see the results. Teaching my 11-year-old is easier than teaching the older ones because they're already set in some of their ways. But when you bring superior knowledge and you can teach it, communicate it, respectfully, I see the children, beginning to accept these things and turning around. And because they are older, when I'm creating, schedules or structures, I get them to do it and then we look at it together. I don't impose it on them. Yes. I get them to do it and then we look at it together. And once you give them that independence, make them know that their voice is heard. Is it family meeting I want to talk about? Their voice is heard. You will see results. But if you try to push it down their throats, you will see that resistance. So we have, we go on dates. I remember because, when I was in the UK, I was alone. I got used to taking, decisions myself. And then my children have bonded with me more than their father. When I went through that, the conclave, and then we talked about, working with your spouse, parenting with your spouse, there was something the governor taught. I sat back and deliberately, intentionally began to think of ways to involve my husband. You know how you take children for basketball and all that? I said, Oga, you are taking your son. If he doesn't want to go, I can tune my daughter. Say, don't you want daddy to take you here? She said, yes. Hey, go and ask daddy. And the next thing I see him with his car keys. So somehow I began to get him more involved. On Father's Day, I booked a restaurant for him and his sons. I said, take them. I told the boys, ask your daddy anything on this earth. Write down what you want to ask him. Deliberately, I'll ask him, have you hugged your daughters today? And he will get up and go and hug them, play with them. So sometimes I realized that maybe I wasn't involving him or giving him a chance because I was used to, doing everything myself. I just get up and on the go. So now it's even easier. It gives me more time because he's doing some of the things. So even though he's not in the inner circle yet, hopefully he will join. But everything we do, I teach him in form of, this storytelling. I teach him in form of storytelling. I don't push it down his throat like, you have to do this, you have to do that, but when this said this, no. I do it in form of storytelling, even though he's an adult. Storytelling playfully, and I see him as well imbibing it, and we're moving on gently. And he's like, this Coach Wendy has done things in your life. Oh, I said, yes, that when God wants to bless you, he
Mm.
introduces you to a man. When the
Mm.
devil wants to destroy you, he brings a man. So this one, God
Mm.
blessed me. It has been, a journey. Is it the
Mm.
mentoring I want to talk about? I got Coach Ebuka to mentor my sons. That one is a different story.
Mm.
I used to mentor some youths.
Okay.
I teach in the teenage church. These things I learned here has helped me. There's no part of my life that it has not touched. That's, when God changed people's names. If it were possible, I would have changed my name this year, because it has been a
Wow.
whole new. I mean, if you like, create level 10. I mean, TIP level will be going level 1, level 2, level 3. I'm going nowhere
Please, Scott.
because I have found higher knowledge. I
Somebody is
found
still trying to call
higher
you.
knowledge.
Huh? So sorry, can I be heard? I think I've been. Okay, you can hear me. Oh,
Yes, I
thank
can
you.
hear you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So
I
we
can
are
hear you.
live with Dr. Nse. Dr. Nse has been, in fact, these strategies are something else. I don't know about you. The strategies that Dr. Nse is.
Hey there! Have you registered for the TIP Inner Circle Program 2020? Imagine having direct access to Coach Wendy throughout the year. Imagine having access to webinars worth 100,000 naira every month. Imagine having someone who has been exactly where you are, holding your hand as you smash your parenting goals. This can't be quantified with money. Imagine discovering who you are in the real sense of faith within 365 days. Imagine getting all of these benefits for only 70,000 naira. You don't want to keep imagining. Send a chat to 0812 968 7040 to join the 2020.
Railing out this morning is out of the world kind of strategies. If you're not listening, if you're not taking notes, like I am, or yours is your case. You know me, I'm a learner. I learn everywhere, top, bottom, side, everywhere. The amazing thing that Dr. Nse, did was, how she got her husband to attend the Marital Academy, the couples conclave. That was just something. Such an insight from God, because I cannot even say, because it's not like she asked anybody. That was so insightful, as in my mind is totally blown. The strategies in having to get her husband involved. See, instead of fighting, she just employed strategies. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to do it? Take responsibility and keep moving. When you think you've heard it all. Dr. Nse, I want you to share with us, why did you have to go and read the books I was calling on the side? I want to really hear why.
No, Coach Wendy, when I listen to you, there is, I don't know, there is something, like I say, when you speak, I have them written down. I wanted to learn. There was this hunger. I wanted to learn more. So, some of the books that we are going to read in level 2, you had called them, like How Children Succeed by Bob. I bought that book long ago. I've even read. I'm like, if you see my library, I'm ready to read. I have scheduled time for reading, because I want to get knowledge. Like when I look around me, like where I live, and I see the kind of things happening, only knowledge can deliver us. Only knowledge can deliver us. So if we don't grow in knowledge, how will the children grow? How are they going to thrive? And then when you came with exit strategy, I was like, I have never met anybody courageous enough to talk about exit strategy. I told my husband, I said, this Coach Wendy will not kill me. Exit strategy. I have never, even lawyers are not bold enough. You are the first person that I met that was courageous enough to talk about exit. You are the first person that made me think. I sat down. I told my husband, come, we're not going to live forever. This exit strategy, we have to. And we began to implement. We even began to talk to our children, even say, we are not going to be here with you forever. Whoever, we have never, because it's like, oh, if you just talk about death, maybe you will die. It's not true. So when you came with that exit strategy, I said, child, this woman, that was key. That is key. I took it, I take the things that you say literally. Next to my Bible, after my Bible, the next thing I read most is TIP resources. Everybody around me knows TIP. I'm watching, even in the office, I'm doing some things sometimes. I put it on, blank out the video. I have my headphone, I'm listening, and I'm doing my work. I'm doing what I'm doing. It has been knowledge after knowledge. I've not been overwhelmed at all. I've not been overwhelmed.
Now, so you can't be overwhelmed.
I've not been overwhelmed. I'm like, bring it on. I'm ready. I find ways, even the ones that don't apply to me, I introduce my friends. And, I remember something happened in teenage church once. One teenage child was so rude.
Wow.
And my son, I heard my son tell his friend, my mom can handle it. So she can handle it. Say, don't worry, she can handle it. And then my older son came, back to the house and said, Mom, my friend called me and told me that something happened. Were you the teacher teaching? I said, yes. Say, Mom, I'm proud of you. I said, Coach Wendy, my son is proud of me. You said our children should be proud of us. It has started. I was so calm. Even the child didn't know what to do, because normally maybe somebody will scream. I was so calm. So it is, everything about TIP is divine. For me, it is divine. I think Coach Wendy is frozen again. We'll just give her a little time and she'll be back.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry, yeah. I know.
I live in Nigeria.
No, you're doing very well. You're doing very well. I like your tenacity.
We're here with like 3, 4, 5 networks and trying to be sure that we're here. Well, thank you so much for coming on, and thank you so much, Dr. Nse. We've been on my intentional parenting journey, and this is the 8th of those series. And for every parent that have come on this series, I have learned, and I'm looking at the things they are sharing. I'm like, where did they get all of this from? I am even more motivated. I say that the TIP is more profitable to me than it is to you. That's what I tell people. It's more profitable to me, as in the knowledge wise. You know how much access to people's brain that you're talking about. And I like what Dr. Nse said about being able to gather knowledge, that's the only thing that can save you. And she said something so profound. She said, in the environment where I live, it's only knowledge that can save you. It's not just there. In the world today. And if you do not have this knowledge, what do you give to your children?
You're in trouble.
You're in trouble. What do you give to your children? And you know, so many times, the first time Dr. Nse said to me, when I saw that the inner circle was 50K, I was wondering, are you sure this academy really understand what they are trying to do? You know, interestingly, some people see it and say, that's a lot of money.
No, the 50K finished. No.
You know, parents will tell me our 50K has finished from January.
Since from the induction, it was done.
We're here for it. And Dr. Nse has shared so much. And particularly is the strategy, how she's been able to bring her husband on board. As in, I am amazed. To the point that her husband had to come and say, whatever it is that you have, teach me. And she said, she shared something so profound for me. She said 23 years of marriage. For the first time, her husband would say to her, now I have what I'm looking for in marriage. Wow.
Yes.
That gave me goose pimples as she shared it. You know that I say many times that when we're working on this journey, it's not really about whether you're home, you're quarreling. You know, when people say, I don't really need to go and work on my marriage. I don't really need to learn from my marriage. And I tell them, I said, no, working on your marriage doesn't mean you're having issues. Because people think that it's only when you're having issues that you actually work on your marriage. And it's a perception that I really get us to, really begin to put down. And even in parenting, people think it's only when I have issues I will not start looking for solution. It's easier to find these things and work them out as you're going on your journey. I was going to ask you that which would be your favorite webinar when it comes to implementation. I don't know how to ask you that question.
That is very difficult because each webinar for me affects a different part of my life. So I don't know if I can pick a best one. Am I going to pick honor as a skill, or emotional intelligence, or am I going to pick creating a legacy? I can't. Every single one affects a different part of my life, and then they all come together as one. They all come together as one. So I don't have a favorite. I mean, everything is good. Everything. Coach Wendy, I said, if you see my notes, I'm keeping them.
I can't even wait to visit you and come and see these notes.
If you see my notes, I had them printed for my children. I told my daughter, I said, wow, I need to ask Coach Wendy when you can join Inner Circle. She's 17. I said, I need to ask Coach Wendy. My 11-year-old has already said, Mom, I am happy the things you're teaching me, that when I get married, I'm going to bring my children. I'll bring my children for you. Say, Mom, I'm happy. My children are like when we had the last family meeting, we had one connection tool was ask the children to evaluate your parenting skill.
Yes.
Coach Wendy, I almost cried. The things these children were saying. Say, you allow us to express ourselves. You give us a voice. My son said, I feel safe.
Wow.
Because like I said to him, I said, because I didn't start early, I'm going to launch you at 25. He's 18 now. I said, I will launch you at 25. So you're not going anywhere. Don't be in a hurry. I'll launch you at 25. I explained to them. And he said to me, say, Mom, I'm so happy that you are preparing me. That when I am with my mates, I see that the way I think is different.
Wow.
Sometimes when his friends have issues, he comes to me, we'll talk about it, then he goes to advise them. Now they tell him, they say, you are very wise. He said, Mom, they think I'm very wise. They don't know I'm coming from you. I said, that's how people think I'm very wise. They don't know I'm getting it from TIP.
That's the same thing.
Yeah. So you see the ripple effect. See how it's going. See how it's going. It's like a ripple effect. That my husband does not take any parenting. If I'm not there, he say, wait for your mom. Say, wait, let your mom come back. He come, he said, ABC happened. How are we going to do it? Sometimes he'll call me on phone. He said, no decision. You have to be there. You have to be there. It's been It's been amazing.
Amazing. This is so thrilling. And Dr. Nse is not a mom who is not busy. That's another part that I would want Dr. Nse to share about. Because I know that many parents come to me and they say, all these things, I don't even have time for it. I don't know how they are doing it. It's not for parents like us that are busy. And that's why we have on this journey, we're bringing people that are very busy, very, very busy parents, not just, career people, career mothers, career fathers. We're bringing one of the gospel artist celebrities in Nigeria, who is also in the inner circle. She's going to be coming. She had a casualty. That's how she found TIP. And she said, do you understand what it means to be a celebrity and have this kind of issue? And then you are where you are. That's how she got into TIP, and she's going to be sharing with us next week. And she's a gospel artist, and yet that kind of thing happened to her. And yesterday was Dr. P sharing about her child being suicidal yesterday, and how she was able to navigate and how she found TIP and all of that. But these are all very busy parents. Very busy parents. I want you to share with us, Dr. Nse, why are you not ruffled with your busyness and the work you're supposed to do?
When we came to TIP, one of the first affirmations we took, I have time to parent my child. So I said to myself, I have time. And then I created a schedule. I have time for my children. If you look at like my children's schedules, we have one-on-one. I have 4. Coach Wendy, when I come back from work, I will parent 1, and parent 2, and parent 3, and parent 4. And parent 4. When my children tell me I'm going to have only 2 children, I say, please have 2. It's not easy to parent 4. So I create time for them. And then I have had to reduce some of my, outside engagements, because for now, the most important job for me is the children. That is the most important. So I cut off some things. Somebody is having a wedding here. I'm like, I cut off anything that is not important. I cut it off. You see, like the last Christmas, my children said it was their best Christmas. Yes, so because of those 2. They are looking forward. Now they're asking me, what are we going to do?
Let me tell you something very interesting, Dr. Nse. So the twins came back for midterm and they said, so have you bought our Christmas uniforms and
exactly.
Christmas, pajamas? I was like, what's happening here? Can you guys calm down?
Same here. They said, Mom, order it on time, because last year, because we ordered it late, we had to wait and wait. So as I'm speaking to you now, Christmas pajamas has landed.
In fact,
they order it on time. Have you created the Christmas schedule? And like that, my strong-willed son, another thing I did was I give him projects, because they like, to work. I give him projects. So right now, he's collecting all the family pictures, every single picture that we have taken. So, Coach Wendy, can you hear me? Sorry, Coach Wendy is frozen. Can you hear me, Coach Wendy?
Okay, I'm back now.
Yeah, sorry again.
Got a little bit thrown out. Okay, thank you so much. Again, we've been on with Dr. Nse. And for you others who are waiting for the intentional Christmas bundles, yes. We're even coming with some tweaks this time around. I am particularly excited.
We are waiting. They've been asking, when are we going to, have you created it? I said, don't worry, we are coming.
I am particularly excited. Before I saw the team working on it, I was like, please bring it. We've created schedules in the house. Who is going to take charge of what? The team was not looking at me. They were like, it's for the parents. I said, am I not a parent?
Are you not a parent?
Am I not on this journey with them? I am on this journey with every other person.
Yes, oh, yes.
Can't tell me, please.
That's one thing, because you are on this journey with us. That's why when the things that you teach, I keep saying I can almost touch them. They are real. They are things that you can relate with.
Thank you so much again, Dr. Nse. Guys, we're going to let Dr. Nse go. It is midnight her time. Dr. Nse has been up. She needs to still go to work in the morning. I don't even know how to say thank you to the others. As in, these parents in the inner circle, the things that they can do. As in, sometimes I'm like, hey, yesterday, Grandma Dinah Smith was
Grandma.
She's a mother. She's not even as young as we are. She was still up at 3 a.m. sharing her journey.
No,
and it's so heartwarming. It makes me to actually do. So when people say you have so much, you concentrate so much on this, your yadas, you just give them. I say, these yadas,
forget it. They should come into the yard.
These people are, they are the real deal. They are the ones that listen to the things that is happening. And Dr. Nse, I want to say thank you. Thank you for literally taking every word out of my mouth and translating it into something big. Thank you for trusting that even though, this is just one young girl like that. And yet you just looked at it and you just said, hey, this is that I'm learning here. I need to actually be able to run with it. I wanted to share, Dr. Nse is one of the people I said have taken, even when I say go left, she doesn't even ask, why are you saying? As in, she does not, you just keep moving.
I just move.
She just moves. There is she has never questioned. She said to me, if you begin to question that, you're not ready to really move.
No.
And she just moves and her results are amazing.
Try it first. If it doesn't work.
Exactly. So, what would be your last, advice to parents, both to parents who are on this journey in the inner circle and to parents who are also waiting and wondering, should I be on this journey? Should I not be? Should I come on board and all of that?
I would say, if you are not in the yard yet, please join. Join the inner circle. And if you're in the inner circle, don't give up. You can do all things through Christ, which strengthens you. Don't give up. Even if your child is 18 or 20, all you need is patience. Take those tools, implement them. And as you are implementing them, trust the process. You will see results. You may not see results immediately, but all of a sudden you begin to see trickles of results. Coach Wendy, when you taught the concept of essentialism, that thing changed my time management. I taught my daughter, that concept of essentialism, and it changed our time management. So these things work. They work. They work. So please, don't give up. Don't ever give up. In your old age, you will be happy. You will see your children. Okay? You will see your children. You will be happy. I'm not there yet, but I am not where I was before I joined TIP. I have made progress. I have made progress. Is it when you taught peace as a skill? My goodness, Coach Wendy, I want to say thank you so much. I keep telling you, I say, the day I will meet you, you will know that you met me. The day I will meet you, you will know that you met me. When God wants to bless a man, he introduces you to somebody. God, it was divine, my finding TIP. I dreamt about you once. You didn't say anything to me in the dream. I said, I've started seeing Coach Wendy in my dream. This TIP is me and you. So I want to thank you so much because you have made a difference in my life, in my family. It's thank you. Thank you so much. And God bless you.
Amen. Thank you so much, Dr. Nse. I am so honored. My husband sends his regards. I am so honored.
He won't forget. I said, this was Papa Noah.
he said, Dr. Nse, came to me and said, Dr. Nse fought the husband manual like you fought it.
Yes.
This must be a good student of yours. I said, yes, because we don't just back down with things like that. And he came back to me, but it was so deep. He said, I am the one explaining, but you need to ask every man how they feel. This is actually exactly how they feel.
Yes.
And you know, it just cuts me.
Yeah. But when I asked my husband, he said, yes, it's true. And I'm like, wow.
Thank you so much,
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the honor.
I honor you.
Really,
I respect you, and
you,
God will bless you.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma. I feel so honored. I'm going to take you out of the stream now so that you can sleep. Thank you so much. I'm sure everybody here wants to continue listening to Dr. Nse. Wow, that was intense. Guys, did you listen to her? Intense is an understatement. Dr. Nse shared profound systems. I think it was the way she even joined the conclave for me and how she looked at it and said, no, I need to get this right and I need to strategically put it together. All right. And you know, when you read the husband manual, eventually you become an obedient ornament, like the level 3 yarders will say. That's why that book, we don't bring it out for everybody to read until you get to level 3, so you don't kill us. But really, you know, knowledge transforms. Knowledge beats everything. Knowledge, it just literally takes you to, you know, another place. I am also, you know, saying to you that trust this process. If you do, you will definitely share even better testimonies than the people who are already sharing these testimonies. You know, these are, you haven't even heard the last of it, the half of it. I said we have over 1,000 yarders, almost 2,000 yarders. And this is just a few people sharing their intentional parenting journey. Imagine what that means in the real sense of it. Transformed life, you know, transformed systems, family systems, totally turned together. When I tell you, you know, I usually tell the parents in the inner circle, the curriculum of the inner circle is not on Google. I say it all the time. People say, oh, he's bragging. You heard Dr. Nse. She said, I'm a researcher. I went to research all of those things. I didn't see anything. Where do you see honor as a skill on the internet? How? But when we teach it, your life turns 365 degrees. Totally. If you can follow without arguing, you would actually see amazing results. I have really benefited so much literally from these testimonies. And I hope that you are also sharing with your family and your friends. And remember to like, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can watch the other My Intentional Parenting Journey series shared by different yarders. Every single yarder have shared a different perspective to this whole series. And tomorrow, what will happen tomorrow? Tomorrow, we're going to be having another yarder come to share My Intentional Parenting Journey. At 8 o'clock same time, you want to also be here. Remember, you can catch replays while watching this Intentional Parenting Journey right on our YouTube channel. If you think that 70,000 naira per year is a thing, wait until you get into the inner circle. Then you would, I have parents, so a parent a few days ago paid 3 times her fee and said to me, I don't want to pay the old fee, which is 50,000. I want to pay the new fee and I'm paying it 3 times. And I said, you don't need to do that. She said, Coach, no, I can't reach you. I want to do something, but I know that it is not so much. But I just want you to know that what you're giving is priceless. The inner circle is priceless. I'm not saying it because I am the one who, you know, God has led. It's just a mandate. I said that the TIP system mandate is bigger than Coach Wendy. Forget this me. Take out, if you want to really, really learn from TIP, just close your eyes and say, you know what? This is not about Coach Wendy. And every time God reminds me that this is not about me. It's about the system of the intentional parenting system. These are people that have been married for 23 years, gone into to learn marriage from my husband. Our marriage is 14 years. Imagine 23 years, 14 years, and yet they have had a transformational journey. It's not about how old you are or how your children are 20. You heard it from the horse's mouth. All right? You heard it. Who is the next person tomorrow? Lorita. Okay. You heard it from the horse's mouth. I didn't share it. All right? You heard it from these parents saying, this. We've had, I think throughout this week, we've had more older parents than we've had younger parents. Almost all the people that have come last week and this week are people that are older. So it's not really about your age. I want you to take that out of your head and begin to go on this journey with so much intentionality. That's actually the only way you can learn. The intentional parenting journey is amazing. The inner circle tools are amazing. And, she just reminded me of the intentional Christmas tools. I am literally, your children will have the best Christmas ever in TIP. They have the best holiday ever. Ask anybody. Because we're intentional about all of these processes and we are sharing with you tangibility. See, the TIP curriculum is built for you to touch it. I like the way Dr. Nse shared it. He said you are able to touch the things that are shared. Yes, you can literally touch what you're learning. You can literally implement what, and you heard her. She said, I have never been overwhelmed. You know the reason? She has been implementing. Dr. Nse runs as she hears. So if you can run with what you're hearing and move, then you would see so much results. And I promise you, I urge you, get into the academy. If you need to, it was Brenda that said in her session, if you need to borrow and pay for the inner circle, you will be much happier for it than you can ever imagine. Remember that the next cohort starts on the 1st of December 2022. And as soon as it shuts, we shut the door. And then you wait again for the next cohort, which starts in December 2023, if you're not able to get in. But trust me, this will be one of the best things that have happened to you. If you follow the inner circle curriculum, personal development, everything is all embedded inside of it. You will be amazed at what will happen to you. Somebody said, my wow has been wild, coach. This testimony is so humbling. It is. I was also totally humbled, with this testimony. I wish you could keep talking. I also wish I got stuck listening to her. Tomorrow, we're going to be having Lorita Itama. Lorita Itama is a level 1 yaga, going to level 2. Her journey has been interesting, amazingly interesting. I remember that when I finished teaching honor as a skill, Lorita came to me and said, Coach, you don't know what you have done for me. And, she said that changed the trajectory of her life in every area of her life. I'm sure that the incoming leaders are hearing this honor as a skill and they're wondering, what is this honor as a skill? Calm down. We're coming for you. Thank you so much, everybody, for really joining us every morning. I really do appreciate your time and the honor to be here. Please note, the TIP Academy runs online. And if you have more questions to ask us, the numbers that is on my screen, you can just take them in and send a chat to them. Please, if your payment is incomplete before the 1st of December, of course, you can't join the cohort. Very simple, all right? You cannot join the cohort. All right, this is the new fee. You better join now. Next year, you're not going to be paying this fee, okay? You can be sure of that. All right. So you need to actually, and no matter what you pay for the inner circle, you'll be grateful that you did pay. You'll be grateful that you did pay for it. I really am looking forward to welcoming almost 2,000 parents that are coming into the inner circle this year. I am pumped up. I am excited. I'm even more excited than you guys, you can imagine. And I look forward to actually working with every single one of you. And I look forward to your testimonies. Just don't forget, the inner circle curriculum is built directly from heaven. You won't find it anywhere. It is taught. It is not taught. You can only find it here. Thank you so much for being here. Somebody said, I'm wondering this honor as a skill almost everybody talk about. Not to worry. It's a curriculum, a firm only made in heaven curriculum for inner circle parents. And that's the only place you actually get to understand it. Really is a masterclass, one of the best masterclass that, God taught me actually on my journey. And I've used that to also teach quite a number of brands. It's been so transformational. We look forward to having you in. If you haven't booked your slot, if you haven't paid, you just simply pay and be in. Trust me, you want to be in the inner circle. And with the system that we have currently, you don't want to miss it. See you again tomorrow at 8 o'clock, where Loretta Itama will be sharing with us her intentional parenting journey, what she's been able to do with her journey, and all of the things that she's put together. You heard Dr. Nse. It's not about being busy. She's a very busy, she lectures actually. She's a very busy parent. And yet, she has been able to restructure and put a lot of things that matter together and bring it out now to success. And that's what is very important. You can catch replay here. You can reach out to us for any of those things. And if you're still having doubt whether you should join the inner circle, the results are here. The reviews are here. The testimonies are here for you to answer. The parents in the inner circle, Dr. Nse was one of the people that said, you didn't advertise this thing very well. We will pay back money if any parent thinks that they didn't gain anything. You know, we've told you, it's a money back guarantee. Even sitting in the cohort and just listening changes your life. We can literally tell you that. Thank you. I hope that this was worth your time. Let me see your comments in the comment section. Let me see you share your favorite emojis in the comment section as we round off this morning. It's been an amazing morning for me. I have particularly learned so much, and I hope that you have learned a lot too. Thank you, Chris Iswakan. Chris Iswakan and the wife will be here on Friday. We're going to be learning a lot from them as well. They have a toddler, and they started this journey early. Something amazing that I find, very, very, very intriguing as well. We have Gladys, Anoma, we have Chinenye. And if you're just listening to us, you are incoming Yada. Trust me, you have made the best decision ever. All right? Somebody say, I love your clothes. These Yadas, they have come for me. Thank you so much, everybody. And do have an amazing, amazing day. God bless you, everyone. And see you tomorrow at 8. Thank you for listening to Relationship Bites with Wendy Ologe podcast today, where we share real conversations of diverse relationships and why they are important to human beings. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to listen to more, please subscribe to the Relationship Bites with Wendy Ologe on your preferred podcast player. Share this with others, your friends and family. Post about us on social media. Leave us a rating or a review. To keep up with our conversations online, you can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, Podcast by Wendy Ologe, or follow my personal page at Wendy Ologe, both on Facebook and also on Instagram. You can also catch my videos on YouTube, Wendy Ologe. You can also follow us on our Parenting Academy, where I share about parenting relationships, the intentional parent. You want to learn more about us? You can simply search us out on www.wendyologe.com, or you can email us, podcastbywendyologe@gmail.com. Thank you again, and catch you next time.